Hello and welcome to the inaugural edition of the Gallachini Sports Show. I'm your host, Gallachini, and here's where I'm going to talk about all things sports. So in this pilot edition, what we're going to do is basically do three first rounds of sports. Soccer, basketball, and with the Super Bowl tomorrow night, or when this is uploaded tonight, we're going to be discussing American football. So I think with the soccer, what we're going to do is do a recap of Arsenal versus Aston Villa. Then we're going to preview Man City versus Liverpool, the big game that many say is going to decide maybe the title. And then after that, we're going to talk about basketball, where I'll name my 5 most exciting teams to watch on Game Pass. Then finally, we'll do a preview of the Super Bowl, where I'll not only talk about a bit of stats stuff, give my bet predictions, but also go into a bit of the psychology behind this final, because that's what I always feel is the most fun thing about sports, is when you talk about the storylines behind it. So I suppose let's just get into it and talk about the Premier League. So today at Villa Park in Birmingham, Arsenal took on Aston Villa, and after a stupid mistake to begin by Cedric, Arsenal found themselves 1-0 down early on. And as I assume most people who are watching this know, I'm a massive Arsenal fan and I'm in pain. I think we played pretty well. The fact that we conceded early ruined the game for us and we couldn't break down Villa. Like, fair play to Villa, they played really well. I think their 2 fullbacks played exceptionally well. They were staying close to the men of the wide wingers of Saka and Pepe at the start, not letting us get crosses in. They were quick, so that was Cash and Target who played really well, I think. But even Tyrone Mings in the middle played quite well. They were more physical than Arsenal, they were kicking all around us, and we weren't able to keep up with them, unfortunately. Our ball in the final third really left us down, where we have great build-up play. A cross would go in wrong, wouldn't fall, or runs were held wrong, started wrong. It just wasn't there for us. I don't know where to go from here. Some of the subs were a bit weird. Aubameyang came on and I think he was disgraceful. I know he has personal stuff going on at the moment, but he has been off all season. I think his work rate, his effort is off, and when he's your most expensive player, you're paying him the big money for a reason. And I'd much rather see Lacazette stay on. I know Lacazette wasn't great, he was coming short everything, he wasn't giving you any options in behind, but at the end of the day at least he tries, and I just didn't see that from Aubameyang. Even with Willian coming on, he tried, he's just useless. I just think I don't see what he offers the team coming on, because we were starting to get some bit of momentum going before that with Pepe on the left, but that put Pepe back to the right and then Willian in, and then nothing was happening. I think Rob Holding played well again today. He's been consistent for us, and Gabriel had a good game, but again, it's just going forward, I don't know what to do. So that's just my quick take on that. I know Aston Villa won and I didn't really give them much time to talk about that, but I'm too upset to give them praise at the moment, but they do deserve it. Game planned very well, so fair play to them. So today we have what is probably the biggest game of the season so far, with City taking on Liverpool at Anfield. Liverpool, with a lot of injury issues, have now gone 2 games in a row after losing in Anfield, which they haven't done for God knows how long. I stopped keeping track what their undefeated record was in Anfield there. So yeah, I really think Liverpool are going to come out guns a-blazing tomorrow and look for a result, because if they lose, that's pretty much them out of the title race and City coasting it. And I really do feel that just the way that they've set themselves out the past 3 years at this stage, they are a hard-working team who take pride in winning, and seeing as they are the champions, they're not going to let City come out tomorrow and basically knock them out of contention for the title. But that being said, I don't like what I've seen of Liverpool recently. They seem a bit all over the place. Taking in consideration then City, who didn't win last year, who also have a winning mentality, they seem that extra bit hungry this year. Even though they don't have a centre forward, even though they don't have Kevin De Bruyne, they're still pulling out these great victories, and I see another one coming tomorrow too. So yeah, I think we have an exciting game. So one of my first Gallachini betting tips. Not a tip, do never take a tip off of me, it's just how I lose money. What I see here is betting that it's going to be a goalless first half, be 0-0 going into half time, and Man City will win 2-0 tomorrow, and Liverpool will be out of the title race. Becker is still, Alisson, I call him Becker. Alisson is still not 100% confirmed. Mane is still not 100% confirmed. Trent is having a bad season. They seem a bit all over the place. Salah, I know he signed a new contract, but he really looks like he doesn't want to be there. Like, I remember watching him against United, and he has a Bang Yang syndrome where he looks like he couldn't care less. So that's my pick for tomorrow. A goalless first half, City scoring twice in the second half. Now it is time for top 5 most fun NBA teams to watch on Game Pass this year. So this is my first year with the Game Pass. Usually what I do is I used to get it for when they give it for free for 2 weeks to start and cancel it. But this year, I have a bit extra money over COVID, I'm not spending it, so what else will I be doing but watching basketball? And by God have I been watching a lot of basketball. I've watched every Bucks game this season, because yes, I'm a Bucks fan, and I've watched every single minute of Bucks basketball. And I've been watching some other teams too. And I have 5 teams who I think are the most fun teams in the league. Now, when I mean fun, I don't mean best, I don't mean teams to watch, because if it was just teams to watch, I'd be picking Houston, because I love what they've done. I love that they got rid of James Harden, who I do not like, and that they've made it a hard-working team of people who've been almost forgotten about, with Boogie Cousins. Oh, he's done, injury prone. John Wall, he's done, injury prone. Christian Wood, oh, we don't want him in Detroit. And even Victor Oladipo, who's been traded 4 times, and many people think of him as a superstar, but yet he's been traded 4 times. That is a team who work hard defensively and are hard working, but I wouldn't class them as a fun team to watch. If you're not the biggest NBA fan and you want to watch for fun, I wouldn't watch Houston. But these 5 teams, I'd really say to go out of your way to see how they get on. So number 5 on my list, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers. Didn't expect this at all. Cleveland have been just festering away since LeBron left to join the Lakers, but by God have they got some good draft picks, done some really good trades, and are a fun, hard-working team. Not only do they all work for each other, but Colin Sexton is a superstar in the making. He reminds me a little bit of Chris Paul, the way he gets to his spots so effortlessly. His lateral movement on the ball is second to none. His mid-range game is great to see. I'm a big fan of the mid-range because as much as I do value the statistics behind a 3-pointer, where if you make 50% of your threes, it's worth more than if you make 60% of your twos. I get the statistics behind it, but when you're a player like Colin Sexton, who can just almost, what I feel 9 times out of 10, once in he gets to his spot, he's scoring. It's so much fun to watch. He's coupled well with Darius Garland. The two of them are almost like what the Celtics have, where they had Tatum and Brown growing up together essentially, and now 2 of them becoming superstars. I can see that happen for Sexland, as they call themselves. A great trade in the Harden trade, getting Jared Allen, who actually was playing quite good defense against Giannis there only last night. And they have other pieces too. They have Larry Nance Jr., who is still injured. They have Kevin Love, who's still injured, and Andre Drummond. They still have some trades to make, and I still think they could be a very interesting team in the East. Watch out for the Cavs making the playoffs. I 100% think they're going to make the playoff game, or the play-in game I should say, but I think any team who comes up with them in a playoff game, they're hungry and they're hard-working enough to make it to the playoffs. So that's number 5, Cleveland Cavaliers. Number 4, as much as I hate to say this, it's the Brooklyn Nets. They're fun to watch. They are so dynamic on offense. And I've watched a few of their games because I watched them hoping to lose. I watched both of their games against Cleveland, where Cleveland beat them twice. Shout out to Cleveland, who are number 5, for being fun. But the way they're able to score, oh my God. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, who I do not like, but god damn it, he is a good player. It's just fantastic to see these 3 working together. The defense is lacking, but this isn't about who the best teams are, as I said. This is just who's fun to watch, and with 3 offensive scorers that good, you'd be mad to not watch at least one Brooklyn Nets game this year. So number 4 on the list, Brooklyn Nets. That's all the time you're getting, Brooklyn. I'm not giving you more time. Number 3 on the most fun NBA teams is the Utah Jazz. Did you know that the Utah Jazz are number 1 in the West? Because I didn't until I looked this up for this episode. Where did they come from? Yes, I've watched a few of their games, but no one talks about Utah because they're not in Los Angeles. And now they're number 1 just by playing good basketball and fun to watch. Mike Conley is back to Mike Conley of Memphis, where he's facilitating everything. Donovan Mitchell is playing fantastic. He's making another jump, possibly due to what Shaq said to him, which I think was a little uncalled for, but I think he had that in him regardless. Rudy Gobert just being a menace in the paint and having lots of other aspects of that team too. They're really fun. Joe Ingles, dead-eye from 3 and good work rate for him as well. Always good to have him coming off the bench, and as I said, in this league bench scoring is so important. So yeah, really go your way to watch Utah. You won't see the media covering them that much because they're from Utah, but if they're first in the West, they're putting everyone on notice that they want you to talk about them. They're the real deal, and maybe they can go a bit further than they have the last few seasons, who knows. That's the playoffs thing, but this is for a regular season. So yeah, number 3, Utah. When people said this was a bad year for the draft, I don't know what they were thinking, because number 2 are the Charlotte Hornets, and by God, LaMelo Ball is so much fun to watch play. For a rookie coming in, just facilitating a whole team like that. So starting on the bench, he's now a starter on the team because they can't live without him realistically. Triple doubles, 20-point scoring games. I think he got career high, 36 points the other night? Like, LaMelo is running the show in Charlotte. Not only that, Gordon Hayward betting on himself and showing he still has something to prove in this league. He was a 4th option in Boston, and yeah, probably a more solid chance of making the finals, winning. He wanted to bet on himself and show, I still got this, I'm not a 4th option, and he's the main man really. LaMelo is still not there yet, give him maybe another season or 2, but right now Gordon Hayward is the man. Yeah, but like also there's a whole lot of things going on in Charlotte that's just fun at the moment. Terry Rozier, another ex-Boston guy, he's putting in good efforts. He's really fun. Again, Terry's just fun to watch because you'll always get his best. His best might sometimes shoot you out of games, but by God, it is fun, and this is the most fun list. So yeah, Rookie of the Year. Do I think LaMelo Ball, probably one of the most fun players in the league, will be Rookie of the Year? No. Listen to number 1 on my list and I'll tell you who will be. Number 1 on my most fun NBA teams list is the Sacramento Kings, baby. Oh my God, something about these guys are just so fun. 1, their social media presence are amazing. Whoever runs the Kings Instagram is the funniest man on planet Earth. If you don't follow the Sacramento Kings on Instagram right now, go and do it. Meme City. But apart from memes, they're fun to watch play basketball. De'Aaron Fox, one of the fastest guys in the court, makes their transition offense amazing. Buddy Hield is a bucket. They have Marvin Bagley trying to figure out what he's is as an NBA player. It's kind of fun. Not in a good way if you're a Kings fan, but I still don't know what he's going to be. Will he end up being a productive starter? Will he be a 6-man? Will he be crashing out of the league? I can't tell with this guy. His mother's trying to get him out of Sacramento. His mother's like giving out online, which is one of the weirdest things too. Luke Walton as the coach, that's fun too, after him basically like bowing out of the Lakers a few years ago. What else is going on there? Rookie of the Year. Tyrese Halliburton is the calmest man on planet Earth. I understand why they don't start him, but he could start on any NBA team right now. If I could take him on the Bucks, oh my God, it would be heaven. 4th quarter, he just knows. He never makes the wrong decision. Assists, rebounds, points, whatever you need from him in that moment, you'll get it. He doesn't care about being the top scorer. He doesn't care about being the main man. He can play on ball when De'Aaron Fox isn't on. 4th quarter when Fox is on, he's okay being off ball. I see a big future for him, and I see him being Rookie of the Year. Yes, LaMelo is putting up more highlights. LaMelo is putting up higher point games, but the consistency of Tyrese Halliburton is what's going to set him aside, because LaMelo will have games where he'll have like 6 turnovers. He'll have games where he scores only maybe 8 points, but Tyrese is consistently pulling out double-digit scoring and maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 assists on top of that, and basically playing hard defense and giving the Kings what they need. And another one, do I think the Kings will make the playoffs this year? By God, yes, that is my pick. Lock it in. Sacramento Kings are making the playoffs for the first time in God knows how long, and that is another bet that I'm doing. Also, I should say I'm a little biased here because I do actually have a physical bet, a literal bet, on Tyrese Halliburton as Rookie of the Year. I got good odds on him because I liked him from day one, and I put that bet on because, again, I just saw the calmness of someone in the league for the first time. You rarely ever see that. But I think maybe the last person you saw who had that kind of calmness in their first year was Luka Doncic. So yeah, there's my top 5 most fun NBA teams. Just like Santa Claus, it comes once a year. It's the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs versus Tom Brady and the New England, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Who would have thought this 12 months ago? Tom Brady would be in another Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Crazy stuff. So what I'm going to do is I have a few stats wrote down. I'm going to run through the stats and see basically what these teams are like heading into the Super Bowl, run through who wants it more, the psychology behind who wants this game more, and I'm going to give you my pick and a bet that I actually have placed, which I'd recommend you should do too. So that is going to come up right now. So the records for these teams in the regular season is Tampa Bay being 11-5, while Kansas being 14-2. Also undefeated on the road, which is important to note here because Kansas obviously are on the road. It's a Super Bowl, but Tampa Bay are playing a Super Bowl at home, first time ever in NFL history. And this is really important because you imagine the advantage Tom Brady has of no travel for the Super Bowl, the advantage he has of sleeping in his own bed beforehand. There was actually arguments and the build-up because Tampa have a cannon that they shoot before home games, and they wanted to shoot this cannon beforehand. And Kansas City kicked up a fuss about this, saying it's not a home game, they shouldn't be allowed doing that. That sets off in my head. They are already nervous about the home field advantage that Tampa Bay have. So when you look at what I think is the psychology of this game, what I say, who wants it more? Tom Brady is an elite, I'm a winner. He has that mentality. When you ever ask him what's his favourite Super Bowl, his answer is the next one. So realistically, I think he's going into this thinking, I want to win because I'm a winner, but also how great would it be to show not only can I win a Super Bowl away from Bill Belichick, but I can do it my way. Having friends at practices, taking days off. He didn't have this in New England, but here now in Tampa, they've really been making allowances for Tom Brady. Of course, they've been blessed to have Tom Brady in their presence, and not only that, but the rest of the team feel like that way too. A lot of them have never won a Super Bowl before and mean a lot to them to win their first Super Bowl. Gronk, not the biggest fan of Bill Belichick either, so he'd only love to win one without him. If you look on the other side of it, you're thinking, well, Kansas City have already won it. They did it last year, so it's hard to care as much as Tampa are probably caring right now, right? Well, if you look at it this way, this is Mahomes' 3rd year as a starter. His 3rd Super Bowl in that time, and if he could win tomorrow, that'd be his 2nd Super Bowl, 4 behind Brady already, beating Brady to get his 2nd. He could start positioning himself to be in the GOAT conversation, which Tom Brady has of course earned right now. So if you could beat Mahomes thinking, I could go 2 Super Bowls in 3 years right now. I'm 25. Highest contract ever. I'm setting myself up for the future to go on a tear here, and when the debates come up, I've already beat Tom Brady. Why are you mentioning Tom Brady? I beat him. So there, you know, with these 2 elite quarterbacks, there's a lot of that psychology probably going in their head. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that's the way I think if I was in that position. So yeah, you're probably thinking, Keane, statistics-wise, you know, that when they face each other head-to-head this season, Kansas City won. Kansas City have the most dynamic offense in the league. They always seem to get Kelsey open whenever. I've backed Kansas City the whole way, bet on them each way of the way, and they've earned me a bit of money on the way. So you're probably thinking, I'm going to go with Kansas City here. Wrong. My bet is Tampa Bay to win the Super Bowl, Tom Brady to get his 7th ring, and parlay that with a Mahomes rushing touchdown to boost the odds a little bit there. That is my pick for the Super Bowl. Yeah, I just think don't bet against Tom Brady. He's coming towards the twilight of his career. Well, you think he's 43. He could probably have another few years in him, but what better chance to get a 7th Super Bowl than tonight? But who knows? I'm no expert, I'm just a guy sharing his opinions. So that is the end of the inaugural Gallachini Sports Show. If you've watched this far, thank you so much. I can't believe it that you actually listened to me ramble for this amount of time. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it. Give it a like if you did. I'm going to hopefully do one of these once a week. Sure, during lockdown, what else would we be doing? And hopefully, if I get a few subscribers, I might be doing a bit of a giveaway as well. Not only for me to boost my subscribers, but also to give something back. So yeah, let's see how it goes, and thanks for watching. Also, like, subscribe, all of that stuff, and follow me on Instagram. And until then, catch you on the flip side.